Hello, everybody. I'll hold it up like this. Okay. Miss Carly, come on. Oh, okay. You can come up here with us if you want to. I'm going to introduce everyone. We are from Fallsburg Elementary, and we are one of the awesome ACT schools with KVEC. I'm Sarah Bowen, principal at Fallsburg. I have Penny Priest, that is a third grade ELA teacher. Mrs. Randy McDavid, that teaches 6th, 7th, and 8th social studies and language. I have Mrs. Teresa Prince, that is our preschool teacher, and Mrs. Brenda Curry, that is our family resource director. And kindergarten, Fallsburg is a K-8 school. So when we explain this, we'll touch both bases. Our problem practice this year is our school will purposefully utilize formative assessments that everyone, students, teachers, principals, and parents, uses to personalize instruction. Our goal is for students to be aware of their own learning through data tracking and goal setting. Last year, we were in ACT school as well, and we had 2 different phases. And so last year, Fallsburg really focused on just formative assessments, just kind of starting at the basics again, especially since we have a lot of new teachers that kind of put it on the back burner a little bit, so we kind of brought it to the forefront. So this year, what we're working on is assessments, but making it kind of drive our instruction. Our short-term goals, of course, is to increase our MAP and STAR data, our common assessment data, our student voice, and student self-assessment. Long-term goals, which are our big goals, for them to become lifelong learners, increase student achievement, increase student engagement, and for them to be transition ready. That's really for our middle school when they go up to the high school. So I'm going to let Mrs. Priest talk about our data notebooks and our goal setting that we're using with our assessments, and she's going to kind of cover the K-5 aspect of it.
So I take this a little different with younger kids. So we wanted to make sure that the students were more involved in their learning by seeing actually where they start and guiding them throughout their learning and education experience for them. So they each have data notebooks, which they keep their STAR scores, their common assessments in, all their information they record every time they take a test for common assessment or STAR. That way they can see where they're at and where they need to go. When we start to set their goals, we actually counsel with them one-on-one so I can see what they're understanding and where they want to be. So if I have a student that is not quite reading on level, we look at one of the things that they can do, or multiple things that they can do, strategies and things. And then I ask, well, what's some of the things that you think that you need to work on? And some of the students will say, I want to build my comprehension. How can you do this? They'll say, well, we want to read more on-level books or higher-level books for us to build on vocabulary and just different skills that maybe they haven't worked on before. So that's the way we look at it for the elementary part, because I don't want to give them all this information that they do not understand yet. They're little kids, and they don't need all of this stuff blown at them at once. So I just feel like students need to understand where they're at on their level, and we will gradually grow. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So one of the things that we're going to do this year is for our Halloween party, we're going to actually invite the parents in for the students to go over their data notebooks with their parents, so they can see the growth from their students, the excitement, because from the beginning of the year to where we're at right now, the students are extremely excited over the growth that they've had. And so they will, during the party, they will pull their parent to their table and they will go over their data notebook with their parents. And the parent will sign off that they understand and they know. And we're hoping we have a bigger turnout for, parent data information.
Okay, and I'm middle school, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the 6 through 8 side of this. We do the exact same data notebook. We put the same data in with the middle school students as well. If you know anything about middle school students, they don't really like to open up about how they're doing. They may not go home and tell their parents how they're doing. Some of them don't have an adult that they even speak to. So we started a new program for the middle schoolers, and they're coaching sessions. And in our school schedule, we have built in time bi-weekly for the students to meet with an adult to go over what is in their data folders. The students had to choose an adult in the building that they felt comfortable with or that they wanted to get to know better. It was teachers, it was their activity teachers, our resource center director, Miss Bowen was one of them. So we have small groups of children, anywhere between 2 kids to 8 kids. And during that time when you meet together, they're able to tell you what their goals are, how they think that they're doing, and you can give them feedback saying, here's some things that you can do if you want to do better. We also use that time for the students to talk to us about careers and college so that they are able to plan with somebody. It's all about building relationships. It's so important to get kids, for kids at that age to know that someone is in their corner and someone is their cheerleader. And so far, we haven't done a second round of MAP test yet for the middle school students, but I think behavior-wise for our children, I see a big difference in our kids. The kids know that there's somebody at school that they can talk to, and they have more interest in their learning because they know their numbers, they know where we're wanting them to go, and the coaches kind of hold them accountable for that. So it's been nice so far. I hope I can say the same thing in the spring, that this has went really well and it's been successful.
I'm going to walk over here now. I'm Teresa Prince. I'm a part of the community engagement section of this. Things that I love about this: more parent involvement, catching them at the parties. Something else I love about this is kids know where they are all the time. It also gives them words. It gives them words to tell their moms and dads when they go home. They already have the words because they practiced them. What we're doing also to bring in the community, and I do this because this is our wonderful family resource youth service center director right here, Brenda Curry. She's going to gather up a list of volunteers in the community for those students. Sometimes there's not a parent there at the parties, so we want to bring in the community members to set in for those students who don't have somebody to share their data with. So, but these are all things that I love about this and very excited about it. Anything to add?
No, I just want to add with the coaching, the kids being part of that.
Sorry.
Just want to add, being part of the coaching kids, it's been really great. And I think to kind of ditto what Miss Randy said was, I've seen the kids be accountable when they come in. They're really excited when I meet them every bi-weekly to actually share what their goal is. And we did a personality test a couple weeks back, and they actually learned a lot about their own selves that they didn't actually even know, because part of that personality test that we gave them was to kind of tell about what maybe their careers. And so through the end of the personality test, one of my students was like, I didn't even know that I would even like that. But I can see that this is actually going to be beneficial to me. So I really enjoy being part of that. And I do believe that it's really nice to know that there is someone at school that you can go to at any time, and building that relationship has been really amazing on the middle school part, because the primary, as Penny said, they're excited to share, but middle school, usually they don't have that. So that's been really great, I think, for our school.
So that wraps it up. If you have any questions, ask away. And I want to reach out to you all too. If your school does data notebooks and does them a little different way with a twist, share with me. Catch one of us out in the hallway, because we'd love to steal your ideas or to borrow them. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you.